This is for the waste disposal facility. A project summary for the construction of sanitation facilities to serve existing homes on the Winnebago Reservation, Nebraska. And there is a dollar amount. The total dollar amount is $473,000. The project to be paid by Indian Health Services is $462,000, and the contribution by the tribe is $11,000. And what the engineer informed me is that they've had this arrangement before, and the tribe never has had to pay that contribution. Hopefully the engineer will be here to explain that to everyone. So it's an MOA between IHS and the tribe. Number 7. Six is at Spivak, Connery. Are we still on, Garen, or are we?
Yeah, we just got it.
Huh?
We got it.
We got it, okay.
Good. We're live.
Okay, are there any additions? There's no other additions? Wow. Uh-oh, hard questions coming up. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Been motion second to approve the agenda as amended. Discussion? Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0-0. Reading of the minutes for 18-19 mid-monthly meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Been motion second to approve the minutes of 4/18/2019 mid-monthly meeting. Discussion? Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0-0. Reading of the minutes 4/19/2019 general council meeting. Move it, Mr. Chair. Been motion to approve. Is there a second? Motion second to approve the minutes of 4/19/2019 General Council meeting. Discussion. Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0. Reading of the minutes, 4/26/2019 Treasurer's Report.
I'll move it, Mr. Chair.
Been motion, is there a second?
Second.
Been motion second to approve the minutes of 4/26/2019 Treasurer's Report. Discussion. Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0. Council, I see we have a interesting audience.
Morning.
Who's in charge? You?
Yeah. My name is Mr. Tranmer. Good morning. My name is Adam Tranmer. I'm the wrestling coach and fifth grade teacher. Today we have the wrestling club is on the agenda, and we brought the fifth grade class down today, Mrs. Carnahan, Mrs. Cook, and Reuben Blackhawk, to see how the tribal council meetings go, all the workings that are involved, and I'm also part of the wrestling club on the agenda. So it was kind of a double dip to be able to let them see how things work. So that is why we are here today.
Okay.
So
Well, welcome.
thank you.
Okay, that's good. Okay, next area, ratify 5 signature. Donation for Veteran Association, carry colors at the Great Plains Tribal Chairman's Association meeting.
Move it.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by Roland. Discussion? Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0. Donation for Hiluska Drum Group sing at the Great Plains Tribal Chairman's meeting. Thank you. Been motion, is there a second?
Second.
Been motion second to ratify donations for the drum group. Discussion? Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0. Ratify 5 signature, CFO adopt resolution 19-109.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Been motion second to ratify, discussion?
Objection. Objection.
Hmm?
Object.
Okay. Okay, no discussion, no objection. Call for vote in favor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 firm. No? 1? No abstentions. Motion passed 6-1-0. New business. WHDC MOA resolution. Is that yours?
Yeah, I'm here representing the board for Norma. Norma's on travel today to Denver. And this is in regards to the long-standing resolution request for the MOA with between the I guess I really don't know. The HAVW board and WHDC in the village of Winnebago. And like I said, this has been, I know, on an ongoing process since 2014, I believe. And it was on the agenda in April, but the meeting was postponed. So the resolution, you should have a copy of the resolution. And the one you have has the wrong dates on it, so the dates need to be changed if you approve this resolution today. And so I hope you all had an opportunity to read that resolution. I don't know, it hasn't been assigned a number yet, so. But
Which
it's in
dates were
regards to the Native American housing and self-determined Nahasda. And the MOA that was done with the Winnebago tribe. And apparently back in December of 2017, a letter was sent out to Chairman White and apparently myself, which I never received, in regards to the village of Winnebago dissolving this MOA with the tribe and with the housing development. I don't know. I never received that letter, so I don't know what that was in reference to. But the dates on there should be changed where on the second page where it say be it further resolved. In order to enact the purpose of this resolution, all parties to the MOA are hereby directed to meet no later than May 31st. Is the date change? I believe the old one said April. And then in this, the next one, be it further resolved, the Winnebago Tribal Council recommends that all property transferred shall be completed, including all necessary recording in Thurston County, no later than October 31st. One of the requests that we have is, as far as we know, Janet Bird was the last acting chairman of the HAVW, and so we would like to meet with her in regards to this. And if she's not willing to, then the tribal council will need to appoint somebody as a temporary chairman of the HAVW so that we can proceed with this.
Okay.
So I guess I'm just looking to see if the council's going to approve this resolution.
Okay. Getting back to the dates there, the be it further resolved, May 15th, is that the correct
May
date?
31st
Okay.
of 2019.
Then the second change is October 31st?
Yes.
Okay. And your attorney has drafted this resolution?
Yes, yes. And I think Norma said once the tribal council accepts and signs a resolution, that the WHDC board, the staff and attorney will move forward to prepare all the appropriate documents. And that's the moving the deeds over to the Housing Development Corporation from the village. And I know Rollin and I sit on the village board, and Louis and Coley and I sit on the housing commission, so I think the housing board, as far as I know, the village board at one point said that they no longer wanted to be in the housing, be landlords anymore. It will kind of take away from some of the village funding because they do receive some money from the housing to, for those 46 units. But I think we're in a situation, the village is now where we need to look forward in getting other things done right now, so. Are you in agreement with that, Roland?
That was unfinished business with
Yeah.
the last go-around with different members on that board. And there was a lot of personality conflict going on there, and the business just wasn't getting done. That's sad to say, but that was the historical fact. I know that they informed the tribal chair and in regards to that, and an official response was never received on by the village, so that is kind of where it's sat. And so here we are again. So it needs to get done.
Yes, it does.
Any further discussion? Questions?
Comment as far as when they used to have HUD and the old arrangement, that MOA between the village and the tribe, tribally designated housing entity, and that expired when they adopted the NAHASDA guidelines. And so with all the units that the tribe owns, and our allocation would have been probably maybe 250 to 300,000, but with that old agreement, including all of the houses in the community, you know, we get over $1 million. So it's beneficial to the tribe to subsidize our housing efforts in the community. So it's we need to get done. And, we're all our different entities, Housing Development Commission, the Village Board. We're all tribal members. We all live here, and hopefully we can resolve this and get this done. It may affect our funding if we don't have it in place by the deadlines.
It would increase the inventory for the Housing Commission, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
that would mean that there would be an increase in funding.
Yes, should be.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the documents need to be drafted by your attorney to officially transfer it over to the Housing Commission with HUD.
Yes, and I believe Norma said there's 46 units.
Yep.
I move to adopt the resolution.
Been motion, is there a second? Second to adopt resolution,
Second.
Tori, second.
19-110.
Been motion second to adopt resolution 19-110, approval of conveyance of 1937 Act housing units to the Winnebago Housing and Development Commission Incorporated. Discussion?
This will solve the problem that started in 1968.
Yeah.
It's a long time coming. It's really important. Housing
That was when
development for the reservation.
the housing pulled out of it, so that stays the same. It's just May 31st, and then, yeah.
Any further discussion?
Yeah.
Any objections to the motion?
I abstain.
Call for vote. In favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Affirm? No?
Abstain.
Abstention? 1. Okay, motion passed, 6-0-1. Thank you, Cheryl.
Pinagigi.
Old business, Frederick's People Patterson LLP adopt resolution for Patty Marks and Ben Fenner. We had an agreement, I think it was at the previous meeting, where we approved the agreement concerning Patty Marks and Ben Fenner. We need to adopt the resolution to complete the agreement. Patty is still working on the land transfer issue. Ben Fenner is working on the contract support cost litigation, I believe.
Motion to adopt.
We approved this already.
Motion to adopt, approving independent contractor for law offices of Frederick Peoples and Patterson.
Been motion to adopt resolution 19-111.
Yep.
Is there second?
Yep.
Been motion second to adopt resolution 19-111, approving independent contractor contract for law offices Frederick People and Patterson LLP. Discussion?
Comment, Mr. Chairman, Patty Mark's been working with us, lobbying our effort to have some land returned to us. We're getting pretty close, and as a matter of fact, we're traveling to Washington, and Chairman, myself, and Danelle Smith to meet with Congressman Steve King, and also Congressman Jeff Fortenberry on this issue. So hopefully they can have that language drafted up so a bill can be presented returning our land to us.
Any further discussion? Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0-0.
Comment, Mr.
Sure.
Chairman? For you young school children, one of our tribal council members was Louis LaRose, the former chairman of the tribe. But when the Corps of Engineers condemned the tribe's land way back in the 70s, Louis was a young man, and then but they knew that that was illegally done, and so they sued the Corps of Engineers to have that land returned to us. And then the tribe was successful on some acreage of that suit, and the other ones were left kind of hanging over there because of some legal maneuvers. But anyway, we're still trying to get that done. So it's been a long time that the tribe has put this as a priority. The land where the Winnebago casino sits, that's some of the land that was returned to us. And so we're just trying to complete this long overdue project. I just wanted to inform you, but we have a lot of gratitude for those leaders that started this, and then fortunate that Louis is still here. A lot of the former council members, they have passed on, but this was a priority for them in that day and age, and it's a priority for us today. I just wanted to share that with you.
Okay. Tribal council items. Adam Cranmer, Andrew and Dana Zekriski, Company A Scouts Wrestling Club. Up to the podium.
Morning. I'm here with Adam and Jared, one of the wrestlers for the Winnebago Company A Scouts. Today they are requesting matching of funds from our concession stand fundraiser that we did. The club is very thankful for the opportunity. Last year, the tribal council matched the funds. We were able to purchase 30 singlets for the club for the kids, and we purchased 10 pairs of wrestling shoes. And best of all, we provided entry fees for 19 kids into 2 tournaments, taking the financial stress off the parents. We would like to thank you for your consideration, and a couple of the wrestlers would like to talk. And this is Jared Doxey.
Hi, my name is Jared Doxey. I am a youth wrestler and I have been for 2 years now. Before I had ever tried wrestling or came across a sport, I had no idea what it was about. And now I am proud to say it has become one of my favorite sports. The reason I had tried it out is because my older sister, Janae Doxey. She wrestled and was recognized for helping with an eye-opener for girls wrestling within the area. So she inspired me in many ways. After school, I would always have nothing to do, so I'd go with her to the mats. I would always be there and ask her to teach me how to wrestle. Then one day my sister, Janae, introduced me to her coach. That was the first time I ever met Mr. Tramner. He was always telling me about his wrestling program. My mom, Angel Doxey, told me I should try out, so I did. The first year I wrestled, it taught me responsibility and discipline. That was the year I went undefeated. Then the second year I won my first match but lost my second. The reason why I lost my second match is because I thought I was the best, but I wasn't. After I lost to him, I started to wrestle with the junior high. I practiced with them, and while I was practicing them, it showed me teamwork. If one person didn't make it under the right time, we'd all have to run it again. Wrestling with the junior high also taught me how to tough it up. Wrestling doesn't just teach you those things. It keeps you from smoking, doing drugs, and also drinking. So that's why wrestling is one of my favorite sports. Thank you.
Oh. Got anything to say, Adam?
Thank you for allowing us. I just want to say thank you for allowing us to be on the agenda. As you can see, kids like Levin, I got a few more 5th graders in here. We've got Eric Little George and Darius Flemister, who are also on the team, and Patrick Burt. And hopefully we can snag a few others, Deacon Lone Wolf. With this sport is growing, and it's growing in this community, and these matching of funds is great to be able to take a financial burden off of the kids, their parents, and everything. And so it's great to see how it's growing, and I'm just very honored to be a part of it. So thank you for your consideration.
Okay. Okay, the program's not part of the school system.
No, it is not.
All right. Okay.
Under our policy, it says up to 2,500.
Yeah.
So this exceeds that.
We can't go beyond 25.
You understand? You get me?
Yep.
That's okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Tori, do you have something?
No, I was just gonna move it, but I was looking for the amount.
further unit.
Yeah, that's just gonna do, yeah.
And yes, I do understand that it's up to 2,500, but I wanted to let you know what our profits were for that. And so those amounts, the matching and the amounts we made, all goes back to the kids. So I don't want to, hide anything, and I want to let you know, okay, this is what we made, and if you guys are willing to match up to 2,500 or even less, anything is great. So
Thank you. Ain't nothing like investing into your own, especially the kids. But I think it's a good thing what you're doing here.
thank you.
And it's a reflection of Mr. Doxey over there, his talent there. So, with that being said, Mr. Chair and Council, I'll move it to match this amount, or up to 2,500, or what's it, a max, our policy. To match the request. That's going for the wrestling mat, right? Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. Purchasing a mat for the club. Yeah.
Been motion, is there a second?
Second.
Victoria, second. Been motion, second, to approve the request from the company A Scouts Wrestling Club in the amount of $2,500 donation. Any further discussion? Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0-0.
Chairman White, I also, on our request, it does also have a rendition of a wrestling mat that we were looking to see if the tribal council would approve of purchasing a mat for the wrestling club. It is, I believe, the financial quote for that is attached. It was $7,286 for that mat. The mat is kind of our 5-year goal to get to be able to host tournaments here in Winnebago and bring in kids from other communities and to host the tournament and possibly a district tournament for the little kids to go to state. We started with 13 kids a year ago, and this year we had 20 consistently. And this growth is, as I said, it's growing. Excuse me. And this mat would help us get into that situation where we could host those tournaments, because we do have a mat for the school, but it takes more than one mat to run a tournament. And so the rendition has nothing to do with the school. The mat has nothing to do with the school. It would be strictly for the wrestling club. So that would be that request that's on there too. So.
I think it is needed, if you want to bring the tournaments here to our community. We'd have to look further into the total amount and look at some of the programs that we have and possibly contributing to it. We have our wellness program, and we have another program with our health department that possibly we can find the funding for it.
Okay.
You don't need it immediately, right?
No, because it takes a little while.
Yeah.
We don't need it until, really, we don't even need it next year. It would be within the next couple years that I would look at hopefully doing that, so.
Okay. Jim?
Yeah, you might want to either approach the health department, health ed, the health department, they fixed up the slab across here, right across.
Yes,
the
I
street.
did see that,
And
yeah.
also, they renovated the old slab down there on the other, back behind the housing.
Okay.
And then with a lot of that funding, they did, I think, land of wellness, the softball field. So those projects are beneficial to the community, so if you approach them, you should be able to help you out a little bit. You know, 'cause it's something that we could all take pride in, and watching these young people advance in their interest in wrestling and representing the Winnebago community.
Oh, thank you very much. And yes, you know, those are the avenues that I'm looking at, is
Okay.
trying to, where I could go and, you know, get some assistance. So, thank you.
I'm not sure who you can coordinate everything with the tribe. You know, there might be one person that will be able to help you in some of those areas. So maybe we'll, you know, find somebody that you can work with, so we can, you know, get the funding that you need. And, you know, your efforts with our children, you know, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
That it's doing wonders, and it only helps us in a lot of areas, specifically our drug problem in our community. And you know, if you can get them actively involved in wrestling, you know, we won't have those problems in the future. So we appreciate that, Adam.
Thank you.
And thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If I may say, I sit on a tax commission, and for Zinni Ventures, and Sarah sits on there as well. But the director wants to get this out there as far as applications, I think June or July, I think he said, and have it ready by October. So if there's somebody like you or anybody has a need, they apply, and then the commission will determine that. So,
Need that by mid-June.
yeah, that's coming, you know.
Okay.
So just letting you know that, but it should be in the paper and it should be out there somewhere, you know, so. That's one vehicle also, you know, so.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, tribal council items number 2, Richard Walker requesting to honor a Winnebago hero, Anthony Cole Walker. I believe that there's a letter in your packet.
Richard here?
Grandchildren.
No, I don't see him anywhere.
You leave a number? It's a lane, man.
It appears that they want to have a celebration on May 14th.
Get somebody from the land of wellness over here. See if that calendar, you know, as far as the gym.
Mm-hmm.
What's in the back? Somebody from you?
Any discussion on the request?
It looks like we should honor both of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying. It says invite Lieutenant Lane Adams.
Has anyone had any discussion with the family or anything outside of the letter?
I had with Richard, where it's just minimal, just yesterday, he mentioned there's a couple other drum groups that they're thinking about inviting Omaha drums. So it's gonna build into something here, but with that takes expense and requires expense. I don't know if he's not here to ask him those things.
Land of Wellness Center, somebody schedule.
Maybe somebody should read this request.
Go ahead, read it.
This request here is dated April 26, 2019 to the Winnebago Tribal Council from Walker family. Regards, honor a Winnebago hero, Anthony Cole Walker. This is a request from the Walker family to the Winnebago Tribal Council to assist in helping the Walker family in honoring Anthony Tony Walker and the heroism that he exhibited while on detail duty in Spirit Lake, North Dakota. An expert of his heroism, written by the wife of Lieutenant Lane Adams. I am in tears as I write this. My husband, Lane Adams, and a detail officer, Anthony Walker from Winnebago, risked their lives early this morning by running into an apartment complex that was engulfed in flames and saved the lives of 7 or 8 families with no deaths. They had no regard for their own well-being and ran into the flames with no fire protection equipment. They kicked in every door and didn't stop until all the families were out and safe. We, the Walker family, would like to have the tribe contribute by having a hero homecoming celebration in his honor. We would like to see the tribal council have an Anthony Cole Walker Day on May 14th, 2019. Also, if it is possible, we would like the tribe to present Tony with a 2 Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska Award for the heroism that he displayed, Medal of Valor and Heroism. We would like to ask the tribe to 3 allow the family access to the Blackhawk Community Center Gymnasium in which to host this celebration. A drum group is being sought and a few Native American church singers. We also are involving the Winnebago Police Department to welcome Tony back to Winnebago by escorting him back home. We are requesting that the Winnebago Police Department present Tony with the highest award for valor and heroism that they can produce. We are requesting or notifying the news media to be present to experience how the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska honors their heroes. We will be requesting Mr. Frank Lemire to be the MC or the main speaker for the festivities. We will also be requesting that the tribe invite Lieutenant Lane Adams and his family to be present at this event. Winnebago perhaps can offer complimentary rooms for a couple of days. Also might give serious thought to 5, present Lieutenant Lane Adams with an award for his part in saving all the lives that they did. We are also asking the tribal council to 6, assist with $500 for some of the food that will be prepared for this celebration. Thank you.
Any thoughts on the request? It appears they broke it down into 6 requests. One was the Anthony Cole Walker Day on May 14th. That, I would assume that would be a declaration. 2 is Winnebago Tribe Award for heroism that he displayed, the Medal of Valor and Heroism. That's the second request. Third request is allow the family access to the Blackhawk Community Center Gymnasium. 4th is invite Lieutenant Lane Adams to be present for the event. Then the 5th is present Lieutenant Lane Adams with an award. And the sixth request is assist with $500 for some of the food that will be prepared. Okay,
Mr. Chair,
sure.
I would like to weigh in on this. I think that we don't do that enough. That we don't dress up our heroes like we used to and honor them. We have a way that we're supposed to be towards our veterans and those people that distinguish themselves in the tribe. And I myself, I think that for somebody to walk in, run into a burning building with no kind of fire protection on, with no regard for their own well-being, but to think of these other people and their families and to make sure that they all safely got out, deserves recognition. And so I would be in favor of helping out with this, all aspects of this request. So I would like to make a motion that we do so.
Second.
Been motion second and to honor the request of the Walker family, honoring a Winnebago hero, Anthony Cole Walker. Discussion.
I would actually make a comment.
Okay.
To the tribal council and to the membership and to the audience, I would agree with Roland as far as, honoring. We don't do that enough, he said. And I would agree with that. Looking back on our history, what did they do when our warriors went to battle? They come back home, or they did something remarkable, and they honored them in some fashion. And in the military, they give them a medal, a ribbon, these kind of things, status, for their rank. But here, we do things like that as well, and that's why these certain individuals have right to do things, because they honored them in that way. And not just Mr. Walker, but there's other people. You break it down in terms of who accomplished what, because there's other people, that have done things that are just important to them. I would like to see us
We can
develop
do a
something
declaration. I can have Gary
when
draft up
somebody that does a great deed,
identifying
and
that
I know
date.
the council makes the last
We can do,
decision,
some
but
kind of award,
there's a process to this.
and Gary can protect it.
And I think it's a good thing.
We can do that.
It's a positive thing. We save lives. No one got hurt. But when somebody makes a accomplishment that's a Winnebago tribal member,
Probably the police department.
I think it warrants some
And then we'll get to confirmation.
acknowledgement. It should be put in the paper. I don't like to chip at things now. Let's gonna do something, let's do it right. I wish they were here
Same as this.
and try to meet their request. So I think it's a good thing, if we can afford it, if we can do it, let's make it happen. At least give some recognition to this individual and others like that. Because we got a lot of talented people, brave people. This is one of ours, Mr. Walker. He comes from his grandmother. Grandmother served many years on this tribal council. She helped many people. Louis served with her. So it's a good thing to recognize our people. So I would totally support this initiative, honoring our people. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Are there any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0. Garen, you and I will get together on some of these things.
Can you adjust your calendar?
Yeah, I just need times. The day's open, I just need what time.
I would assume it would be in the evening.
Okay. It's open.
Okay,
Thank you, Roy Thunder.
Thank you.
okay, thank you, council. Next item, Marion Holstein. You're up already.
Good timing.
Okay.
I'm not sure this is real good. Is there any way to move it back? If it please the council, I wonder if we could move my item to a little bit later in the agenda. I think it would be more appropriate since, you know, we have a classroom here right now.
If that's your request, there's 4 items that be yours. So
Sure.
if that's your request,
Please,
we can
yes.
entertain a motion to suspend the rules to push it back.
We want them to see the wheels in motion, but more positive.
Motion to suspend the rule.
Moved by Jim. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Roland. All in favor? No? Abstain? Tori? Okay, motion carries 6-0. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll put you towards the bottom there. Okay, the next one, request from Mona Bearskin.
Okay.
Sure. Do you have Mona's request? Or?
I have a request.
Okay.
I signed that. I was kinda hoping she'd be here. Apparently, Miss Bearskin is on a fixed income. She's a senior tribal member. She's asking for assistance of $250 for her heating bill, and she needs help with eyeglasses. So I agreed to put her on this agenda to honor her request. And so I know that we do offer services and funding for these items. And it shows here that she did. But I guess she was turned down by these programs due to lack of funding because they were depleted. So I bring this to your attention, hoping for your support. I don't think that it's asking too much to help this senior with these needs.
Today. Do you all have the requests?
I get, the department said that she did not have a disconnect, she just needs, her request is for her current monthly bill. The statement that was added on to the, to our package, that she just needs up with the amount. And her utilities have not been turned off. There was no disconnect notice.
On the response from Human Services, Mona was notified you have your emergency assistance available, but being you do not have a disconnect notice, you're not eligible at this time. So I don't know exactly what, where the bill is. Okay, here it is. Seems like the next notice is probably gonna be a disconnect notice to her. Move it, Mr. Chair. Accept. Okay.
Second.
Is that just both of them? No?
Yeah. Been motion and second to approve the request of Mona Bearskin. Discussion?
I have discussion. I'm just concerned with the precedent that we're setting, and I guess want the council to, I don't know, are we gonna honor every request that comes in now, or everything? I'm just concerned with that, and, I know we did some car repairs a couple weeks ago, and it's just a slippery slope, but I also can sympathize with the need of our elders, and I just don't know what will happen once people know that they can come down to the table once again.
Yeah.
So I just want to share that, and that's my feeling.
No, noted. Further discussion?
Discussion? Thank you, Corey, for your concern. And thank you, Mal, for your support. Perhaps we could look into this on better supporting our seniors in that program by providing more funding toward that, so that we don't have to constantly have to go through this. I would like to meet with the CEO and the CFO to see if we can set something up and get this in the works, bring this back to the table so that we don't have to constantly be going through this. Because I agree that that we could be setting a precedent, and it could be a very slippery slope for us. So I will start that process.
I think that's a good idea. The senior center has, I think, I don't think it's a board, but they have a committee, and maybe they could facilitate that if we give them a line item or something. I don't know. I just, all our seniors need the support when these things come up, but I wish we didn't have to be the ones, because someday someone's going to get a no, and it's just not going to feel good.
No.
Mr. Chair, you're absolutely right, Dory. You know, we all want to help our people, but that's why we have policies. And if they're not working, we need to look at them. And if there's a lack of funding, then we need to look at that as well. You know, So if there's a systematic process, it works for our members. So I would support that. That's good, Roland, you said that, and look forward to that. So that's it. Good, because we all want to help, you know, in some way, if we can. Call for the questions.
Should be a dollar amount attached to that,
Yeah, there's
There's
250.
50?
Yep.
mhm.
Okay. And then, you know, and also where it's coming from? Either the general fund?
We include that in motion, Mel, in the general
Yes.
fund. Okay. Any further discussion? Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0-0. Next item. NITC travel, that's Nebraska Indian Intertribal Coalition travel to Norfolk to be held tomorrow. Anybody's interested? Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, may I, sorry to interrupt. We would like to say thank you as a fifth grade class for hosting us. And thank you for everything that you do for the community and the people of Winnebago. And we are going to let you guys continue your meeting. But thank you very much for letting us come in and observe you guys today.
Okay, good. You're gonna walk, so maybe he'll wake up on his walk.
Thank you.
Keep it exciting.
He got himself a man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to approve travel to the Nebraska Indian Intertribal Coalition. Move it. Second. In motion, second. Discussion. Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 6-0-0. You got it, Richard.
I'm just gonna pass it down.
Approve your request. What's this here? Richard,
Yes.
what's this?
What's that? 21 pages.
Hmm?
What's different, the date?
There's no 6 items on there.
Oh,
We approved,
have that guy stand over here, sit down over here so we can tell him what we did.
Sorry, Tom.
Richard,
Oh,
look at it. Sir, please, if you could. I'm not trying to order my elders around, but we went over your request and approved it. What you wanted, that original one that you gave us. This one that you're handing us now is a little bit different.
yeah, they asked me to update it. I told them that we was gonna, actually, it's the same. I took out asking for Lane Adams to come down and invite to the Spirit Lake Tribal Council. They can't take it. So I eliminated that from the proposal.
So do we need to go back and amend that? Are we
No,
still good?
That's still in there,
Okay.
those requests are still in
So
there.
you're good to go.
All right.
The only thing that I noticed that did change, Richard, is that the request that was made, your family was working on getting a drum group.
Yeah,
Okay, then you ask us to do it. In this
I didn't-
last one that you,
it might be a missed thing, I don't know.
okay. Well,
But-
the original one, you said the family was working
Yeah.
on obtaining a drum.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna go with this request that you originally made. So that was approved.
Okay. All right, yeah, there's no reason to even think about asking him guys, because he couldn't get it off his schedule, and he couldn't schedule it and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And one of the things that they were saying was that he wasn't able to, part of the reason why he was denied was because they thought that he was gonna have to give an interview. And, with their rules, the federal rules and policy is that they can't give interviews on an ongoing investigation. And that's what they're doing here. They're investigating
Okay.
the circumstances surrounding that fire. So.
Okay.
everything
Okay,
else-
Rich, a little bit later, can you sit down with Garen and I, and we'll work out some of the details and, May 14th is just next week. so
Yeah, no
short
lie,
notice.
boy.
So we've got to start working on this starting today.
Okay,
So, around 11:30?
all right, I'll be
Okay.
here.
All right, good.
All right, okay, thank
Thank
you.
you, Richard.
Thank you, guys, thank you very much.
Okay, number 6, Ed Spivak.
All right, man.
More information on it, Jim?
Jim, I kind of read the email too, Jim, and I think Vince was kind of requesting that we honor him with a blanket or something. And I know he said HCI will be working on an honoring of him too, so that was at the opening of the Root Sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
There was an email.
Maybe a letter from the chairman or something to go with, or something like that. A card or something we could all sign.
Appreciation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes those things mean more than, so could we ask Ann, are they getting the blanket, or do we get the blanket? I didn't.
Well, we have some blankets. Okay, it's gonna be sometime in June. Okay.
The grand opening of the
Yeah. So, but I'll visit with Vince, you want to put more concrete.
Need more details.
Yeah.
So we'll just, you'll coordinate it with Vince and give us more information. We have the blanket, we can do the letter, and if there's anything else, certainly can do it. Maybe we'll give him a bag of seeds or something. Okay, next item then. Oh, we got one more,
Wait,
sorry.
yeah,
Got one more,
MOA.
one more.
Indian House Service attendants. You got that?
Number 7, MOA, Indian Health Service, Winnebago Tribe.
where's that at? I don't see it.
It starts the back, I thought, where is it, where is it, where is it?
It was in like the second.
Oh, this was
the supplemental packet.
yeah,
This is the-
it's in this, yeah.
Oh, I get it, supplemental.
The one that has Morris on the top, it's in the back of that one.
I see. Mr. Chairman, I have one question. Is it the reason why we do the matching funds is because of the assumption of the hospital?
No. It's a standard practice through, this particular project that there's a contribution by the tribe. And as I said earlier, that what the engineer told me was that they've had a similar arrangement before, and they had that contribution part of the agreement then, and the tribe has never had to pay it. So I was advised by the engineer, don't worry about it, but it needs to be part of the agreement.
Mr. Chairman, Paul and I attended a meeting with our engineer and the Indian Health Service, the village water crew, and the facilities crew, and then doing an assessment of our water treatment, water and sewer. Some of the things that we need to keep up with the constant demand of services. Currently, we have the lagoons out there. There's only got one working. They fix those valves so they can flow back and forth, so they can keep them all operational. Then with the addition of the Ho Chunk Village and possible expansion over there, we're gonna have to have all of those online. And then so this is some of the needs that we brought up during that meeting. So they kind of representatives from Indian Health Service, they came up with and worked with Ron, and then say this is what we need to get us, keep us fully operational. And then, but also this one, and I think there's another project for a water tank out to Apollo Ground. So that's going to be helping out.
Yeah, that'll be the separate agreement.
But the itemized budget of what this will include. So, they have a project schedule, village lift station calculation, current. Look over the MOA. Go ahead and approve this so they can get started on these projects for our water and sewer. Approve this project summary for the construction of sanitation facilities to serve the existing housing on the Winnebago Indian Reservation. Total project funding $473,000.
So, Mr. Chair,
Mm-hmm.
so specifically, what is $11,000 for?
In the MOA there, it says tribal contribution. The tribe will contribute $11,000 on its behalf toward this project for the construction of the proposed sanitation facilities as described in attached project summary. The sum of $11,000 will be held and administered by the tribe for contract administration and construction of the proposed facility. The tribe agrees to transfer $0 to the IHS prior to the start of construction. These funds will be administered in accordance with regulations governing Operation IHS.
Is it somewhat in kind, like if
It-
it's,
It could be, as it was explained to me, they needed some type of contribution from the tribe, but they never asked for it in the past. And the engineer felt that, we wouldn't even have to contribute anything, but we just have it on documents that, the tribe is contributing this.
I'll move it. I move to, adopt the MOA between Indian Health Service and the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska.
Second.
Been motion second to adopt the memorandum of agreement between the Indian Health Service and the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska, Public Law 86-121, Project GP-19-J55. Discussion? Any objections to the motion? No objections, motion passed 7-0-0.
Is that resolution 112?
Is it a resolution?
No,
I
it
didn't-
was a MOA.
MOA, the chairman signed it.
MOA, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Next item.
Mr. Chairman, will this be executive session? It's
I don't know.
related to a personnel issue, and I don't think that should be broadcast.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know if it is or not.
What's that?
Okay, do you want an executive session?
I was thinking that might be appropriate, yeah. If it is about
Okay.
an individual.
Okay.
So you're requesting that.
Sure.
Move to go into exec.
Second.
Second.
Okay, 10:26, we're in executive session.
Is this the last item? Do you want to tell the viewers that, is this the last item? or you-
Yeah, that's-
Okay, all right, I can do that. For the viewing audience, this is gonna be our last item on the agenda. We're in executive session, and soon after we get out of executive session, we'll be adjourned.
Okay.
Benny, we're